So last time when we were doing this, I went over some funny chords. I went over G, C, a form of C, where you just move the two fingers down from the G chord to a different string, and then D with A minor and A. So this is your first string, and this is your sixth string. So, and then fret 1, fret 2, fret 3, fret 4, so I'll go over that. So now I'm going to show you all the chords in G. I'm going to do it a little bit quick, and then strum patterns are what we'll mostly get into. I won't go over G, and now, so G is 6th string, 3rd fret, 5th string, 2nd fret, 2nd string, 3rd fret, 1st string, 3rd fret, that's G. D is 3rd string, 2nd fret, 2nd string, 3rd fret, 1st string, 2nd fret, and you play the bottom 4 strings usually. Now you can play I'm calling them the bottom 4, the high 4. You can play the high 5 strings if you want, and that sounds fine. You normally don't play all of them. Sound a little bit off. Sometimes I do a thing where I hold the 2nd fret on the 6th string, and then I play them all. I don't know anybody else who does that, but the way you can figure that out is since those are both E, and the 2nd fret on the high E is in the chord of D, then you know that the 2nd fret on the low string is in the chord of D. So I'll use the thumb over the top, and it's a little easier than it sounds. Oops. And I'll just play all the strings sometimes. Okay, now for C, the real C, you put your 5th string, 3rd fret, 4th string, 2nd fret, 2nd string, 1st fret, and that's it. So that's 5th string, 3rd fret, 4th string, 2nd fret, and 2nd string, 1st fret, and you play you play the high 5 strings. You omit the low E. Now if you want to play low E, which a lot of people do, you can hold the low E, the 6th string, 3rd fret, and then play all the strings. It'll sound like that, and that's all the strings. Now that's C, and then for A minor, it is 4th string, 2nd fret, 3rd string, 2nd fret, 2nd string, 1st fret, and that's kind of your sadder sounds. And then for E minor, 5th string, 2nd fret, 4th string, 2nd fret. Now to wrap it up, now these are the harder ones, so they'll take you a while to get into, but don't worry about it, it's fine. You got all the time in the world. Nobody's rushing you. So to kind of remember these simply, so I'm gonna go into F major. F major is, actually let me show you E major first. So E minor, we just went over, and then for E major, all you do is do 3rd string, 1st fret added to it. So 3rd string, 1st fret, 5th string, 2nd fret, 6th string, 2nd fret, and you play them all. Now that's E major. Now for F major, you keep that same shape, and a lot of guitar is all about shapes. You keep that same shape, and you put your index as a bar across all the strings on the 1st fret. So to read it out, it will go bar, or bar on the first fret, or you could say sixth string first fret, fifth string third fret, fourth string third fret, third string second fret. And that's your basic F chord, and it'll sound something like this. And then for, in that shape, you can move it all the way down the guitar all the time, and like you can play a bar chord here. Now a lot of people do a sloppy bar chord, like almost everybody does a sloppy bar chord, which just means like instead of barring it, you just hold these, you just hold the frets that I told you earlier, and you don't play those, the highest strings. You don't play you just play the ones that you're holding down. That's a lot easier to do. And this here is, let's see, D, yeah. So if you do, so I showed you F, F major or F chord. This, if you put the bar all the way down here where the two dots are for your 12th fret, the two dots are the 12th fret. So if you hold it all the way down here and you do that same thing, you got a D. And then if you move that back 2 more frets, so now you're on, your 2 fingers are where I always keep track of it. Your 2 fingers are on your 10th fret now. And then you make that same bar chord shape. Now this is going to be a C. And then if you do that same shape on the, your 2 fingers are on the 5th fret, this is a G. So you got the G that looks like this, your open chord G, and then you notice that this is a G, and you set your bar chord to that spot, and this is another G. Perfect. And we got the D chord down here, and then the C chord at the 10th fret. So with the 2 fingers, a lot of people will say a different way, but I'm going to just call out the 2 fingers. The 2 fingers are on the 12th for the D, the 10th for the C, and then the 5th for the G. And that's how you can use the whole neck of the guitar. It's raining. Awesome. That is great. I love it. Okay, so, and then for B minor, which is the last chord in the G and the key of G. Now this one's a little trickier, but it's easy to play. You put your bar chord on the 2nd fret. My phone's gonna get wet. I hope that's okay. You put your bar chord on the 2nd fret, but you don't play low E. So omit low E for your B minor, and then make the same shape that we did for the F chord and all your bar chords, and just omit low E and put your 2 fingers on the 4th fret of the 4th and 3rd string. Okay, this is a lot of rain. Okay, let me play. And that's B minor, and that's all your chords in the key of G. Now, you notice how most of them are open chords with the exception of F chord and B minor, and then you can also play down here, up here, and up here, and we're still playing the chords in the key of G. Now, there's other places you can play like a A minor, for example, is your 2 fingers are on the 7th fret, and instead of putting this, instead of holding down the 6th fret of the 3rd string, you just don't hold it down, so this finger just doesn't do anything, and you bar it down, hold these 2 down. Whoops, a little hard. So that's a form of A minor. And then the other form of A minor is the one. And so now you can kind of like move around the guitar a little bit with those minors and majors. Now this part is just more for your own amusement. I'm going to go ahead and show you at least how to play all all the chords are a form of all the majors and minors, so that you can just use it if you want to kind of screw around. So B minor, we kind of went over that before, where you make that F chord shape, but you have your 2 fingers on the 4th fret. B minor. And then if you want to make a bar chord with the B minor, the way that most people will do it is like this, where you hold, kind of bar the 4th fret, and you put your finger on the 2nd fret of the 5th string, and it'll go like this. And you don't play high E. When you do it this way, which is the easiest way, you don't play high E. And that's a B major. That's a B major. So now you can kind of walk up the neck of the guitar to get B major. I showed you how to play A minor, and that works for all the other minors on low E. And then for the other open chord, the main ones, for D minor, you do 1st fret on the 1st string, 3rd fret on the 2nd string, 2nd fret on the 3rd string, and you play the bottom 4. And you can play the bottom 5 too. Frankly, I like the sound of that a lot. I'll probably do that a lot more when I'm playing my D minor. And then so A minor, A major, you hold the 2nd fret on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th string. It's actually difficult to play A major. And you play that. And you can play all the strings if you want, that's fine. Normally you omit low E, but it's fine if you do it. So that's A major. So A major, A minor, B major, B minor, C major, the normal C minor, you just take your B minor, scoot it up 1, so your 2 fingers are on the 5th fret, and that's your easiest C minor to get to. C major, C minor, D major, D minor, B, C, D, E, E major, E minor, F major, we already did, and then for F minor, you just just lift up on this one, so your 2 fingers are on the 3rd fret of the 4th and 5th string, and then you bar the entire 1st fret, and that's actually very difficult to play in my opinion, and it'll sound like this. I'm not even going to worry about playing it right now, my hands are too wet, etc. But that's how you do it. That's the most common F minor. Now, and like I said, a lot of people do a sloppy version. So a sloppy version might sound like this. And that's where I'm not barring it, but I'm holding down some section of that and just playing only those strings, and that sounds fine. Okay, G major. The common G minor is similar to the F minor, and you just put your fingers on the 5th fret, don't hold down, and you bar the whole G, and that's actually a little easier to play, and it sounds like this. It's still difficult. Whatever. A, C, D, F, G, E, F, G, and that's it. So that's all the keys, all the chords for the major minor scale. And when you're walking up the guitar, the ones that are important to remember are E and F are right next to each other. So right here, that's they call it steps. That's 1 step up for your E, F, and then B and C are right next to each other. 1 step up for B and C, so that's the 1st string, 2nd string, and 6th string. If you hold fret 1, you'll go from E to F and from B to C. all the rest are 2 steps up. Every single other one is 2 steps up. So A to B, 2 steps. D to A, B, C, D, E, 2 steps. G to A is 2 steps. So all the rest are 2 steps. Just remember the first, second, and third string. That's how you get to B to C and E to F. Everything else is 2 steps up, and that's how you can kind of walk it up. And even though I was noting it with the 2 fingers here, you can just sort of, so I'll say E, F, G, G, so that's why all your G chords start here. A, B, C, D, F, G. A, so that's why your A minor will start there, is because that's A. And then B, C, C right here, that's why your other C is down here on the 10th fret. And then, on the 8th fret. And then D is another 2 steps, and that's on the 10th fret. But I'll normally call it by the 2 fingers on the 12th fret. So so that's how you can do that, and you can use that kind of progression so you know where B is, B major, B minor, go 1 more, we're at C. And then C minor, and then 2 more is 2 steps up to get to D, D minor, D major, and then all the way up to the 12th. Well, I went a little faster, didn't I? But that's fine. All the way up to the 12th fret, and now we got to a G. Now your fingers on the 10th fret. This is how people normally call it, but I'll call it the 12th fret, so fingers on G. Now one thing so for practicing, it's good to just swap between your G, C, and D. Just constantly swap G, C, D, or just some order of that. And so you can kind of notice that we have a C here on the 10th, I'm going to call it by the 2 fingers, the 2 fingers on the 10th fret. We have a C here. We have a D just on the 12th fret. And then for the major, you got to bar it like this. So, and then we got a G here. So you can just move between those 3 that are all right next to each other, and you'll always be, they'll always sound good together. And then similarly up here we got the G here, the C here, just right below it, 2 more up to get to D. And back to G. Okay, so and then you just when you're playing, oh gosh, you move between that CGD, CGD type of situation, and you can this D, this C, that G, and that will sound like quite good, really. So now the focus of this video, I know that's a lot to take in. Just take it slow. The bar chords are what you'll get last. The only things that I'll say that help on the bar chord, try to keep your finger kind of straight. Try not to give it to like a bend to push down. Just try to keep it straight. And if it's difficult, it's probably that you haven't got the little calluses yet. So rather than trying to like force it, just do it for a little bit and just wait a couple of months or whatever, and then your finger gets tougher and stronger. Same with all your fretting hand. Now, a lot of videos that I watch go on about music theory all over the place, and they, I think, make guitar very complicated trying to name all these chords, and I just don't think that didn't help me. And then also trying to learn songs individually, that didn't help me either. And I think it's better to just kind of experiment with your fingers to find something that works, and if it sounds good, just play it. Like, I'm not even gonna call this out, it's not even important, but I got like a zigzag pattern with my fingers here. Sounds good. What is it? I don't know, doesn't really much matter. But as long as I, whenever you discover a shape that works, you can just play it anywhere on the guitar, and sometimes you can include the open strings that might sound good, sometimes it won't. I'm just being random here. Didn't sound good there. That sounds okay. So, so you can kind of experiment like that. And that's the easiest way to kind of like, just whatever your hands can do, you play 2 or 3 strings, and only those strings that your hands can mash or whatever, and then move it up and down the guitar, and you find out some chords really quick. So after that, what really improved my playing was focusing on strumming patterns.